about some of the practical ways that we can cultivate joy in our lives. And I think our formal practice is really important. So our normal, regular sitting practice with compassion, with insight, all mindfulness-based, I mean, that's really, really important. But the specific bits that can really help us cultivate joy, I think, a lot of those seem to me to be about daily life activities. This morning, when I was doing my practice, the compassion card that I picked out was whatever you meet unexpectedly, join with meditation. So this is about those moments where something unexpected happens. It might be something positive and unexpected, or it might be something negative and unexpected. So those, shit hitting the fan moments that happen in life sometimes, or, there's moments where you go, because something not so good is happening, or because something good is happening. And often in those moments, the mind can just stop. And it's an invitation to pause here, just to pause. So in those moments where something unexpected happens, where there's a surprise, where maybe we're blindsided, we can, use that natural stopping of the mind, actually, in surprise, just to pause, and to pause a little bit longer, and then see whether there's a moment of choice. And something that helps me in these difficult moments, and in the joyful moments actually, is a practice called Tonglen on the spot. So some of you who've done the compassion module will have learned the Tonglen practice. But the Tonglen practice, from a space of kind of resource, from a space of joy, maybe imagining a compassionate element of ourselves, like a light of compassion in our heart, from kind of this aspect of joyful resource, we kind of breathe in what's difficult and allow that to transform in our heart, and breathe out what's needed. And this counteracts our normal egocentric way of being, where we're trying to get hold of and take in all the good and give out everything that's crap. Yeah, so this is normal. This is reversing our normal kind of egocentric tendency. So what we do is that if you're walking along the street and there's something that you find difficult, rather than just kind of walking past, we can breathe it in. So the example for me is I go to Manchester most Tuesdays, and I have to walk through Manchester city centre, and there's always at least 3 or 4, often 10 homeless people that are there on the streets, often asleep in sleeping bags, looking very dishevelled and sad. And realistically, there's not an awful lot I can do about that. Sometimes I give some money to somebody, and I have an aspiration, but I've not done it yet, to sort of donate to a homeless charity, so that, particularly one based in Manchester, to feel that there's something I can do. But really, there's very little I can do about that. But I feel I don't want to ignore that person. So I always do a Tonglen on the spot practice, and I try to make eye contact and smile, because so many people, it's awkward, isn't it? Like, we tend to just walk past, and then I just imagine that I'm breathing in the struggling that they're experienced in their life, allowing that to touch my heart, and breathe out happiness, joy, whatever's needed. Yeah. So those difficult things in our lives, we can just take a moment and stop and breathe in that difficulty with the wish that they don't have to have it, that we can take that on. Because maybe we have more resources, maybe we're able to take that on. And then just breathe out what's needed. Breathe out joy, happiness, love, a cup of coffee, whatever it might be. So that's like a Tonglen on the spot practice that we can do when things are difficult. And then another thing that we can do is when things are wonderful. So when we feel really joyful, when we see a beautiful sunset, or we're, playing with our children, or playing with our dogs, and just feel really overflowing with joy, we can just breathe that out to everybody. So rather than holding on to it for ourselves, we breathe it out with the wish that everybody could experience this joy that we're feeling in the moment. So this practice of breathing in the difficult when we see it, and breathing out the joy, is a real sense of gives us a real sense of our interconnectedness with everybody, so that we can connect with the difficulty that other people have, that we also have, and connect our joy with the joy that other people have. So recognising that we're all in this together. So that's another practice that I would really recommend, a practice of Tonglen on the spot, particularly if you've done the compassion training and know a bit more about Tonglen practice. But just have a go anyway. And Pema Chodron writes about it beautifully in her book, Start Where You Are. So if you were interested in following that, that's the book to get.